Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Searching in Fearless Tarot. Okay, so I wanted to do a rundown. I don't know why I did this. I wanted to do a rundown video of what Venus and Taurus is going to be like, and maybe a little collective read for us to kind of understand how we're going to feel in this period of time. So Venus and Taurus, Taurus is all about, it's in its natural habitat when it's in Venus, okay? But it's all about the yin, the inner of Venus, the inner world of Venus, okay? So it really speaks more to the relationship of self, of ourselves, whereas in Libra, that still represents Venus, is more of the outer workings of Venus. So when we're looking at the inner workings of Venus, it's like we're finding the sweetness of life through our own senses and bringing things together that seem separate but are all one, okay, if that makes any sense. So Venus and Taurus is all about rooting ourselves into the earth and understanding the relationship with ourself, so then we can process a relationship with others after, okay? And that would be Venus and Libra. So Venus and Taurus is rooting us and grounding us into the earth at this time. With all of the things that are coming in, Mars in Cancer, it's very sensitive, it's very otherworldly, it's very working with your emotions rather than working with the physicality, the yang of the earth. Okay, so some issues that could come up, that do tend to come up in Taurus energy, is shutting down to survive, okay? Sometimes the senses can be overwhelmed in a certain sense, or we can turn cold, kind of like the nefarious villain, you know, where he has, in his mind, he has a justified reason to do what he does, and maybe will be justified to him, but to others it's not as justified. So be careful of that kind of shutting down, losing empathy for other people's feelings or interactions because you're so indulged in your own. Be careful of that during this season. And also isolation. It can result in isolation if you're not generally the type of person that likes confrontation or anything like that. It can preclude you from other things or other people. But really what we're trying to do in this time while Venus is in Taurus is just to reignite our passion for life through all of the things around us, through being grateful for the small moments, for literally stopping and looking at the flowers, for understanding what the world is in relation to us and who we are and how we see it. So take time to indulge in food if you need to indulge in food at this time. Take time to ground yourself and just kind of walk on the grass for a little while. Take time to understand who you are through the body, through the physical vessel that's going on within you. Okay, so now that we talked about that, there is definitely a feeling of fragmentation going on in this time that I'm seeing for a lot of people. Let's see what's being activated for a lot of us astrologically. Obviously it's Taurus and Venus, but for the collective read purposes, I'm just gonna see what's being activated. Pisces, interesting. So this can talk about our spirituality. This can talk about trusting our intuition, or it can also talk about indecision and not being sure of how to move forward. How that would relate to Taurus. I'm seeing how that would all correlate to Taurus. Because honestly, with Pisces and Taurus, it's like we're blending the imagination with our physical world. Okay, so actually, to me, that speaks a lot of manifestation, and I know that a lot of us collectively are trying to manifest relationships, new businesses, trying to manifest our true desires. It kind of feels like a lot of us are in this limbo of sorts, trying to figure out what our next move is, where our next journey is. And Venus and Taurus is the perfect complement to that, because it's, I don't want to say forcing us, because that's like a really strong word, but I would say it's helping us to ground ourselves in our physical reality, to appreciate what's around us in order to figure out what we want next. But it's also like seeing the world through the eyes of a child. Taurus is also linked with Scorpio, so And people don't really understand that very much, but Taurus and Scorpio are alike in the way that they observe. They observe and they see what they want. The difference is with Taurus is going to be, they're going to find their, after they observe, they're going to find their way and they're kind of stuck in that way. Whereas Scorpio is always the observant one, dissecting, not really mentioning much because they don't want to piss a lot of people off. But with Taurus, it's like they both observe to figure out how they want to get to their end game. Scorpio does it with something a little bit different. Taurus does it to build a foundation, to root themselves into the earth, right? So we could be working a lot on manifestation right now, trying to figure out what we like. It's like what Spirit is showing me is whenever you start something new, especially as an adult, it's like you really don't want to start something new. You get used to familiarity and comfort, and that can be very frustrating, especially when you're ripped out of that and then you're in Taurus where it's like reminding you, oh, find comfort, when you really haven't had much of that in a while. So don't, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and explore different options, explore different arenas. Go for a walk when you wouldn't normally go for a walk, or volunteer with others if you need to volunteer safely, obviously. Okay. Father God, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for another day not promised. Thank you for all you do for us, all the wisdom, guidance, and love. What does the Recovered Collective that's watching this video need to know? What does the Recovered Collective watching this video need to know most at this time for Venus and Taurus? Only let those that walk in the light in, only those with the highest messages for the highest good of all. Thank you so much. We are nothing without you. Amen. What is going on for the Venus and Taurus Collective? Interesting. Okay, so a lot of us could be feeling suppressed right now, or we could feel like a lot of pressure is on us. With the Empress, with the 10 of Wands reversed and the 2 of Wands, it's like maybe you felt stifled. Maybe you have felt like you're all alone on this journey, that you don't know which plans to make, that you can't move forward because of an injustice that's happening in your life. 4 of Cups reversed always talks about getting out of a fantasy, or needing to get out of a fantasy. It's talking about releasing burdens that no longer serve you, even if you don't see the just ends to them, and learning how to do that in this time, learning how to love yourself, and learning how to find resentment for the people that have done you wrong, to understand that those people were doing the best that they could with what they had at the time. Understanding that justice is living a better life. Justice is moving forward and living your best life. Some of you are so obscured by this injustice that it's like you're guarded and you don't really see a lot of options in front of you because you want the old, which would make sense with Taurus, because Taurus can be very stubborn. Like I said, they observe, and then once they find something that they want, it's very hard for them to let it go. So, yeah, with the needing to get out of your fantasies, there's an imbalance, and the Fool reversed is talking about being scared to begin the journey. To me, that's what this feels like in this read. Really just unsure. It's like, it's funny because you are this badass, like you're coming in as in positive position. And mind you, remember, when I'm doing a collective read, this is just an energy. Empress energy is just a feminine energy within you. So it's the energy that makes you want to express things. It's the energy that makes you want to be childlike. It's the energy that makes you want to take care of what's around you and to nurture what's around you. But with these burdens and this injustice being firmly on your mind, it's like you have a different perspective than the energy that you're actually putting off right now. Maybe you're trying to seem like this very creative, knowledgeable individual, but you have a lot of burdens on you and it's very difficult. Maybe you feel like you're all alone in this time. Maybe some of you could be struggling to really be who you are because it doesn't line up to who you used to be. And so it's really hard for you to reconcile that in your mind right now. And I think Venus and Taurus season, for those of you that this resonates, is going to help you to stop thinking about the past and what's happened in the past, and to be in the moment, to be in the now, to appreciate what is right here in the now, everything you have in front of you. I feel like for a lot of us, we've struggled with 2020 and everything that happened and everything that's been happening and trying to reform our lives. A lot of us have lost really great relationships that maybe we were in for years but just no longer worked. A lot of us have lost a lot of things that we can never get back, or at least never get back in the same way. And so there's a need to look beyond that and to look into the now, to be mindful into what we have. What else, Spirit? Some of us are not sure whether we want to move forward with emotion. Some of us could be choosing, having to choose between two different people. Maybe people from the past are coming in. Venus and Taurus. Venus and Taurus is like people from the past. Knight of Wands reversed. This could have been somebody who was in and out of your life. Somebody who never really gave you clarity. It was always tumultuous. Or it could be a relationship that if you felt kind of lackluster, there was really no movement in it. There was no moving to calmer waters. This is the death to that period of time. And with the Knight of Cups coming in, okay, so this could be, keep in mind this is a collective read, so energies can always change, but I see the Knight of Cups here with the Two of Swords and the King of Swords and the King of Cups reversed. I feel like someone wants to send you a message, or you want to send someone a message. This person could have cut you off. With the King of Swords reversed, this talks about cutting someone off illogically. When I say illogically, it's like emotionally logical. So it may seem logical to the person that's making the decision, but it's really based off their emotions and experiences. And they cut it off as logic. King of Cups means they're hiding their emotions reversed. They're not talking. This could be you contemplating sending someone a message, or someone contemplating sending you a message. Why do they want to send a message, Spirit? Why do they want to send a message? Possibly because they're tired of feeling out in the cold. I feel like whatever this is, or whoever this individual is that wants to send a message, is if you're the one that's unaware or not wanting to, or the recipient of the message, you have no idea that this person wants to send you a message. Absolutely zero idea. You possibly could have ended in a fight. This could have ended in a battle. It could have ended in you guys blocking each other, or one of you blocking the other. But this person is studying you and understanding, coming to some kind of understanding with the Temperance card. It's like Spirit is helping to show them what happened, what's tempering. Either that, or you could just be doing your own thing and creating mastery. You could be on your own shit, not even worried about this other individual that wants to send a message, moving on, moving forward. And it's like not necessarily in a bad way. You're just doing your own thing. It's not like you're angry or anything. It just feels like you're doing your own thing. Maybe this person really hurt you in the past and there was nothing you could do. But it's like there's a real need in this time to go within and to figure out exactly what love means to you, how you perceive love, intimacy. For some reason, I keep getting intimacy and like physical relationships. So I feel like in this time, a lot of us who have been isolating ourselves, who have been struggling with not putting ourselves out there, struggling with even intimacy or touching other people because we've been trapped in our homes for so long. I feel like Venus and Taurus is going to help us with that and help to bring individuals into our life that are going to help us to feel comfortable with being intimate or comfortable with navigating that for the first time after a while, you know? It kind of reminds me, I know this is a weird thing to bring up, but it kind of reminds me of like when you're in recovery and say you have a 6-month dry period where you don't have sex with anybody, you don't talk, you know, and then all of a sudden like you meet somebody and you fall in love and you know, you're like, I want to be intimate with this person, but I haven't been intimately sober, if ever, or maybe it was a long time ago, you know? And so it's like this really new experience for you and you kind of have to feel it for the first time again kind of thing. I know that's a really weird way to explain it, but that's what I'm seeing in my head. So there you go. So I feel like we're becoming more comfortable with intimacy. We're remembering that not everybody is the same and that we have our own back no matter what. With Taurus and Venus, it's like we're really focusing on the inward. We're focusing on ourselves. So any relationship that comes into our life, if it ends up not working out, we know that we're going to have our own back through maybe that isolation or through maybe that self-reflection or that pondering. It's having the strength to move forward and not repeating the same story in your head that you've done possibly your entire life about romance. Some of you have been healing family issues in this time that are going to help renew your perception of what love is and specifically what love is for you, because love is different for everybody. And especially in Aquarius, we got some weird ideas about what love is. And when I say weird, I don't mean bad. I just mean different. There could be an individual in this time that you really want to share some words with. That you really want to, because I'm getting the Knight of Swords in the Page of Cups reverse. So this doesn't really feel like a very positive message that you would want to share with this individual. Or this could be somebody who is afraid to send you that message and get out of their own head. Or you could be afraid to send somebody a message. This time, this season is giving you the strength to send that message. Is giving you the strength and the fortitude and the foresight to stand on your own, regardless of whatever happens. Even if you're meant to take that risk and meet someone new or talk to that individual that you never got closure from. Venus and Taurus is like, it's, okay. What I have realized with the individuals I've dealt with Venus and Taurus is, yes, they're stubborn as hell, okay? Let's get real here. Yes, they're stubborn as hell, and sometimes their ego can really do wonders on them, right? But they're also sentimental, and they also love a good memory, and it's also very hard for them to let someone that they love go. So no matter what they admit or whatever they say, there's some kind of inner turmoil going on, and Venus and Taurus is helping to give that strength to send that message through inner reflection, if that makes any sense. So maybe the individual that was needing to bring you clarity, or you needing to bring the other person clarity, maybe there was some things that your ego wouldn't let you see. Okay, maybe there were some things that your ego was like, this is the way it's always been, this is the way it needs to be, and now you're kind of going back and you're realizing maybe some of the decisions that were made too soon, or taking accountability for what happened. It's like you're finding the strength, and you're realizing that whatever decisions you made in this time were for yourself and for your highest good, and that you can always find clarity and closure, whether that be with yourself or somebody else. I feel like you're going to be really reflecting and pondering on that. Some of you are really struggling with the death of something. Maybe there was codependent relationships with financial issues going on. Maybe you were in a relationship where it was solely based on stability and comfort, but you could never admit that to yourself, or there was a refusal to move forward. Some of you could be waiting on someone else. I really feel like some of you are really struggling with no closure and frustrated. For some of you, there really needs to be a understanding that your masculine and feminine are a part of who you are, and there's no way that you can suppress or ignore that, because if you do, then you're going to get the shadow side of either. So for example, let's talk about toxic femininity for shits and gigs, because everyone talks about toxic masculinity. Okay, toxic femininity is like strangling someone, wanting to smother them, wanting to make sure that they're okay and do everything for their protection, and not letting them make decisions for their own, right? Or let's go on the other end, where it's toxic masculinity, and you're mansplaining everything, and you're stuck thinking about old fundamental ways, and there needs to be a respect for both sides of yourself. There needs to be a fundamental respect for your masculine and your feminine at this time. There needs to be a true, for some of you, that especially like you are really struggling with closure of a relationship, or you're really struggling to find peace within yourself after this relationship has happened. Ironically enough, you need to go within first, and then you'll find that clarity. Yeah. Okay, so what's the advice? What can we do in this time? What can we do in this time? Okay, so for those of you, I see the Queen of Wands reversed, the Five of Cups reversed, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed. There's an understanding that not all is lost. And there is a need to go within and to hone in on what you truly want, not what other people want for you. I don't really feel like I need to go too into that though, because I feel like that's been dredged into us, is conditioning and how we need to get rid of our conditioning. So I'm not going to go into that whole thing. But with the Chariot reversed, it's like two different directions, and you're not sure which one you want to take. And so that's why things aren't manifesting right now. You may be trying to manifest right now, but you don't have a very clear image of what you want. And like I always say, when it comes to manifestation, don't try to manifest a person, place, or thing. Manifest the feeling, and then go on adventures and trust that it will find you. That's manifestation. When we start to manifest a certain exact direction we want to go into, or an exact thing we want, it's going to take a whole lot longer. So it's best if we try to manifest the feeling. Like if we're trying to manifest a partner, to put our hand on our heart, because love is the highest frequency we can manifest at. And think about what it would feel like to have that partner, that ally on your side. Someone who's going to be with you, not controlling the scenario, not controlling you or you controlling them. A true, like, dynamic duo. For any of you that are pondering lost opportunities right now, this could be in relationships or this could be financial, but I'm going to go more towards the relationships because we're doing Venus and Taurus. And when I say relationships, I don't just mean romantic. I could also mean family, friends, coworkers, whatever resonates. But there's a lot of inner judgment going on with this lost opportunity. But you're finding strength in this time. And it's strength for you. And that's the most important thing. I feel like it's this inner strength that's going to help you to understand the mistakes that you've made along the way so that you can never make those mistakes again. Because I feel like for a lot of you, the original issue was that you weren't thinking about yourself in the first place in most of the relationships that you engaged in. You know, there wasn't a true, you didn't have your own back. You didn't have your own back in the past. Or maybe you let people walk all over you, or maybe you wanted to control things too much. But either way, the strength that you're finding in this time, dissecting that inner judgment and abolishing it from any thoughts in your mind about yourself, is helping you to maintain these better relationships in the future. And maybe this lost opportunity is a really sad thing that you're having to process right now. But I can tell you, when a new opportunity comes in, which it always will, you're going to know exactly what the hell you have. You are going to know that you need to stand by this person, this individual, this experience. You are going to know exactly what you have, and you are going to work your ass off to maintain it. Just like we all do in early sobriety. I know for me, I've been almost sober. I've been sober for 4 years, no earlies. But I've been sober for 4 years, and I still get excited when I'm able to fill up my gas tank. You know? And it's, I don't know, there's just this little smile in me that I can even appreciate that at this point in my life. Because there were many times where I didn't even have a car or a driver's license, or I didn't trust myself to drive because I drank, you know? So just know that the darkness, whatever darkness you're going through in this period of time, is meant to catapult you into something better, okay? Whether that be somebody in the past where you're meant to rekindle that relationship, or somebody in the future. You will know what's meant for you. But the whole point of watching these videos isn't so that I can tell you your future. It's so that you can discern what's meant for, what messages are meant for you. So in this time, just be very mindful of the beauty that's around you. No matter if you're in a brick building where you only have one butterfly fly across the window a day or some crap like that, appreciate it for what it is. Wait for that butterfly to come every single day. Wave hi to the butterfly if you can, but appreciate what's in the physical reality around you, because it's going to lead you to bigger adventures and better things. Or it might lead you back to where you always knew you'd be. Who knows? Okay, let's do some guidance cards. And then I'm outie 5,000. What guidance cards do we need for Venus and Taurus? What guidance cards do we need for Venus and Taurus? What guidance cards do we need? Ooh, all right. First one is TikTok. Some of you might want to create TikTok accounts, or you like a social media platform. Do it. Do it. Okay. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, or happening now in a glorious timelessness. You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. I'm going to do relationship message too. Love the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. Love isn't always... Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. All right. And then we have building blocks reversed in the protection message. Love isn't always on time. Okay. Now is the time to address the cracks in the foundation of your life. Perhaps your values have changed, and it is time to strengthen your convictions and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. Okay, my loves, until next time, hope you enjoyed your messages. Thanks for all the likes, shares, subscribes, and until next time, bye.